Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bookercast, the podcast where books come to life.
And I'm so excited to dive into another amazing story with all of you.
Whether you're a bookworm or just love a good story, this is the place for you.
Every episode, we explore incredible books, talk about their stories and characters, and share insights that'll make you fall in love with reading all over again.
All right, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Get comfortable, and let's jump right into it.
Sounds good.
Welcome to our deep dive into Marcel Proust's In Search of Lost Time. It's a book that has a reputation for being quite lengthy and complex.
A behemoth, even.
But we're here to make it a little less daunting, help you uncover some of those treasures buried within its pages. You might even discover something new about yourself along the way.
It's a journey worth taking. In Search of Lost Time is considered a cornerstone of modernist literature, and for good reason.
Why is that?
Well, because Proust's work, it isn't just a story, it's an exploration of consciousness itself.
Oh, wow.
How our past experiences, especially those forgotten moments, shape who we become.
All right, let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
The novel is narrated by this unnamed character, and it's essentially his journey through life, love, and everything in between.
Exactly, but what makes it so unique is how deeply Proust dives into this character's inner world.
Yeah, his thoughts and memories. How does he do that?
Through the fascinating concept of involuntary memory. Have you ever experienced those moments when a scent, a taste, a sound unexpectedly throws you back to a vivid memory?
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's the driving force of the narrative.
You're talking about like that famous Maslin episode, right?
Exactly.
Where the narrator takes a bite of this little cake dipped in tea, and boom, he's flooded with memories of his childhood.
It's incredible how something so ordinary can unlock such a powerful experience. That's one of Proust's key insights, that the past isn't truly lost.
So it's not gone forever.
Nope. It's embedded within us, waiting to be reawakened by these seemingly insignificant sensory triggers.
But he doesn't just tell us about these memories. Proust actually recreates them, right?
Right.
I mean, his prose is so detailed, so evocative.
You're right.
You practically feel the cobblestones beneath your feet as you wander through Cambrai with the narrator.
And Cambrai itself becomes more than just a setting. It transforms into this symbol of lost time.
It's a real place, but also
A place existing both in the past and the narrator's present consciousness, constantly reshaped by his memories.
you know, it makes me think about the places from our own pasts, how our memories of them might shift and change as we evolve.
Precisely. Proust challenges traditional storytelling. Instead of focusing on a linear narrative, he emphasizes the narrator's inner life, the subjective experience of time.
So time isn't a straight line in this novel.
It's not a straight line at all. Time expands and contracts based on emotions and memories.
It's like how time seemed to stretch on forever when we were kids.
No.
Years just fly by in a blink.
That's a perfect analogy. Proust wants to capture that fluidity of time, the way it's actually a series of interconnected moments.
That we access, well, not in chronological order.
Exactly, through our memories.
But Proust doesn't just dwell on childhood, right?
No, he doesn't.
I mean, he introduces this captivating cast of characters, each with their own stories, experiences.
Reflecting different facets of love, society, and life itself.
One character that really stands out is Swann.
Ah, Swann. His passionate, often tumultuous love affair with Odette de Crécy foreshadows the narrator's own experiences with love and jealousy later in the novel.
Swann's story is almost like a mini-novel.
Yes, within the larger narrative.
He's obsessed with Odette. There's even this scene where he's frantically searching for her in Parisian restaurants, just desperate for a glimpse of her. You can practically feel his anxiety.
But Swann's story is more than just a romantic anecdote. It's Proust's way of dissecting the illusions and disillusions of romantic love. He reveals how love can distort our perceptions, how it makes us see what we want to see rather than what's actually there.
And how jealousy can make us act in ways we never thought possible.
Yes, Swann is consumed by anxiety over Odette's social life, constantly suspecting infidelity. It's heartbreaking, but it also makes you think about how our own insecurities can color our experiences in love.
Exactly. Are we truly seeing the other person, or just a reflection of ourselves?
Yeah. That's the question Proust prompts us to consider. And it's something the narrator grapples with as he grows older and experiences his own tumultuous relationships.
So each relationship, each heartbreak, offers a new insight into the complexities of love and connection.
And through these experiences, both his own and those he observes, the narrator begins to grapple with the overarching themes of the novel: identity, time, and the power of art.
It's like his journey is a search for self-understanding, right?
Yes, trying to make sense of his place in the world, how his past shapes who he is, the elusive nature of identity.
It's that concept of lost time again, right?
Precisely. The idea that the past is irretrievable. But Proust also suggests that we can reclaim those lost moments through the act of remembering.
It's not just about nostalgia, though, right?
It's not just about nostalgia, it's about critically examining our past to understand how it continues to influence us in the present.
Not just remembering what happened, but understanding why we remember it.
And what it means for us now. Which leads us to the theme of art, which plays a vital role in the novel.
Right. Proust explores the impact of art on the narrator, particularly the influence of the painter Elster and the actress Burma.
For the narrator, art becomes a way of accessing deeper truths, a way of transcending the limitations of time and place.
Offering a glimpse into something eternal, something that connects us to something larger than ourselves.
And this is where Proust's artistic vision shines. He's not just telling a story, he's creating a work of art that invites us to engage with these themes in a profound and personal way. And his use of language is simply breathtaking.
His sentences can go on for pages, but they're so beautifully crafted, so rich with imagery and insight that you just get swept away by them. It's a testament to the power of language.
And his stream of consciousness style, revolutionary. He allows the narrator's thoughts to wander freely, jumping from past to present, from observation to reflection. It's through this seemingly chaotic flow of thoughts that we gain a deeper understanding of the human mind.
It's definitely a challenging read at times, but also incredibly rewarding. It makes you feel like you're discovering something new on every page.
And the insights he offers into the human condition are timeless. They resonate with us today just as powerfully as they did a century ago.
So what makes Proust so important? Why should our listeners care about a novel written over 100 years ago?
Well, because Proust's insights into memory, time, and the human condition are as relevant today as ever.
How so?
His work encourages us to engage with our own pasts, to understand how they shape our present, and to appreciate the power of art to connect us to something larger than ourselves.
Once you enter Proust's world, you'll never see the world in quite the same way again.
You'll start noticing those involuntary memories, those Proustian moments.
The ones that transport you back to a specific time and place.
You'll find yourself reflecting on the passage of time.
And how your own identity is constantly evolving.
And you'll develop a deeper appreciation for the power of art to offer new perspectives and illuminate the mysteries of the human heart.
It's a truly remarkable experience, one that I highly recommend.
Before you dive into this journey, though, let's explore a specific example of how Proust masterfully uses symbolism in Search of Lost Time. Just ahead. Welcome back.
Before we venture further, I thought it might be enlightening to delve into a specific example of Proust's masterful use of symbolism. You might recall how the simple Madeleine triggered a cascade of memories for the narrator.
Right, just that taste of Madeleine dipped in tea transported him back to his childhood. To Cambrai.
Exactly.
Are there other objects in the novel that carry that kind of symbolic weight?
Absolutely. Remember Swann and his all-consuming love for Odette? Well, there's a fascinating motif of Cattleya orchids associated with their relationship.
Cattleya orchids. I don't recall that from my reading.
They're not as prominent as the Madeleine, but they offer a nuanced layer to understanding Swann's obsession. He becomes fixated on these orchids because they remind him of Odette. He even fills her home with them.
So he's trying to, what, surround her with these reminders of himself?
Perhaps. Or maybe trying to possess her through these flowers.
That's a little unsettling, isn't it? It is, and that's precisely what Proust is getting at. The orchids become a symbol of Swann's possessive love, his attempt to control Odette, through these beautiful but ultimately fragile blooms.
It seems like Proust embeds these layers of symbolism throughout the novel, like a hidden language, adding another dimension to the story.
You're absolutely right, and it's not just objects. Names, places, even certain characters become imbued with symbolic meaning, representing complex emotions and ideas.
Now that you mention it, I remember how the name Swann itself evokes the image of a graceful swan, right?
Yes.
Reflecting his initial elegance and detachment. But as he falls deeper into his obsession with Odette, he becomes less swan-like and more like a creature trapped in a web of his own making.
A brilliant observation. It's like his name foreshadows his tragic trajectory in love. And speaking of names, Odette itself has connections to the swan motif. In the medieval legend of Lohengrin, Odette is a princess transformed into a swan.
Wow, I never made that connection before.
It's there.
So Odette, like the swan, represents beauty, grace,
Uh-huh.
but also a sense of unattainability, maybe even a hint of tragedy.
Precisely. And like the Cattleya orchid, Odette's beauty is ultimately fleeting, subject to the passage of time, a theme that, as we've discussed, permeates the entire novel. Proust constantly reminds us that everything changes: people, relationships, even our perceptions of the world.
Speaking of changing perceptions, how does Proust handle social dynamics? The novel seems to offer a nuanced portrayal of class and society in early 20th century France.
Well, Proust was a master observer of social nuances. He meticulously dissects the intricate world of Parisian high society, with its rituals, hidden hierarchies, and subtle power dynamics.
So he's showing how people manipulate social connections.
For status, career advancement, even to exert control over others.
And he doesn't shy away from exposing the hypocrisy and superficiality lurking beneath the surface of this seemingly polished world.
Not at all. He was particularly critical of social climbers, who prioritized appearances over genuine connection.
It makes me think of the Verdurin Salon, that gathering place for artists and intellectuals. Even in this supposedly enlightened circle, there are power struggles, rivalries, and this constant jockeying for position.
A microcosm of the larger social world.
Exactly.
And the Verdurins themselves are social climbers, desperate for acceptance by the aristocracy. While simultaneously criticizing their values, they represent a kind of social limbo, belonging fully to neither world.
And it's within this complex social milieu that the narrator must navigate his own path, trying to find his place, while observing the follies and triumphs of those around him.
And learning that genuine connection is rare and precious, often found in the most unexpected places.
Like his friendship with Saint-Loup, who comes from a highly aristocratic family, but ultimately rejects the superficiality of that world.
He seeks meaning in art and authentic human connection.
Embodying a rebellion against the rigid social conventions of his class, he longs for something deeper, more genuine. It's fascinating how Proust uses these characters to critique the social structures of his time. He fearlessly challenges the status quo, questioning the values and assumptions of the world he inhabited.
Precisely. And by doing so, he creates a work that transcends its historical context, offering insights into the human condition that resonate just as strongly today.
We've talked about memory, time, love, society. But we can't overlook Proust's incredible writing style. It's intricate, detailed, and yes, sometimes challenging. How does this style contribute to the novel's overall meaning?
Proust's style is indeed both intricate and demanding, but that's precisely where its power lies. His long, winding sentences filled with clauses and digressions mimic the flow of human thought.
Right.
They capture how our minds leap from one idea to another, making connections, revisiting memories, constantly reevaluating our perceptions.
It's like he's pulling us directly into the narrator's consciousness, allowing us to experience the world through his unique lens.
You've got it. And this immersive experience is crucial to understanding the novel's central themes. By immersing us in the narrator's subjective experience, Proust prompts us to reconsider our own relationship with time, memory, and the very nature of reality.
It's not just about what the narrator experiences, but how he experiences it.
Exactly.
His perception becomes our perception.
Proust's style isn't mere decoration, it's an integral part of the novel's meaning. It forces us to slow down, to pay attention to the nuances of language, to savor the beauty of his prose. And in doing so, we're encouraged to engage with the complexities of human experience in a more profound way.
It's no wonder that Proust's work has had such a profound impact on literature and beyond.
He expanded the possibilities of the novel, inspiring generations of writers, artists, and thinkers.
And his influence can be seen in fields as diverse as psychology, philosophy, even neuroscience.
The way we understand memory, consciousness, and the passage of time has been forever changed by Proust's groundbreaking work.
It's amazing to think that a novel written over a century ago can still hold such power over our understanding of the world and ourselves.
That's the hallmark of a truly great work of art. It transcends its time and place, speaking to something universal within us.
And In Search of Lost Time certainly achieves that. It's a monumental work. It demands effort, but it offers immeasurable rewards.
It's a journey that stays with you long after you've finished reading, encouraging you to reflect on your own experiences, your relationships, and your perspective on the world.
Speaking of journeys, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. From the power of involuntary memory to the intricacies of love and society, from the depths of the narrator's consciousness to the heights of Proust's artistic vision, we've explored many facets of this extraordinary novel.
But as you know, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There are so many layers to In Search of Lost Time, so much more to discover and unpack.
Right. So as we wrap things up, what are some key takeaways you think will resonate with our listener? What makes it such an essential read, even today?
Let's explore those key takeaways and why Proust's work remains so relevant even in our modern world. That's coming up after a short break.
We're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into In Search of Lost Time. You know, even though we've only just scratched the surface, I feel like I'm already seeing the world a little differently.
I think that's the magic of Proust.
Yeah?
He shifts our perspective,
Okay.
makes us more attuned to those subtle nuances of experience, the echoes of the past in our present.
Okay, so as we bring this deep dive to a close, what are some key takeaways you think will resonate with our listener? What makes this book so essential, even in today's world?
Well, I think first and foremost, Proust reminds us of the extraordinary power of memory.
Yeah, not just remembering facts and figures, right?
Not just as a repository for facts and events, but as a force that shapes our very identity and how we understand the world around us. He encourages us to pay attention to those Proustian moments.
Oh, yes.
Those seemingly insignificant sensory experiences that can unlock floods of memories and emotions.
The ones that take you back.
Exactly.
Like realizing that the past is never truly lost.
It's always there, influencing who we are, even when we're not consciously aware of it.
And by engaging with our past, exploring those memories and what they mean to us, I guess we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves.
And our place in the world.
What about time and change? It seems like those are so central to Proust's vision.
Absolutely. Proust captures that fluidity of time, how it can stretch and contract, how our perceptions and experiences shape our sense of time's passage. Nothing stays the same. We are constantly evolving.
It can be kind of daunting when you think about the idea that everything is in flux, that even our own identity is constantly shifting.
It can be. But Proust shows us that change doesn't have to be something we fear. Instead, we can choose to embrace it.
Because,
It allows us to grow, to learn, and to discover new possibilities.
you know, we've talked about art and how it offers a glimpse into something timeless. But how does art fit into Proust's overall worldview? What's its significance?
For Proust, art wasn't merely a form of entertainment or aesthetic pleasure. It was a pathway to deeper truths, a way of transcending the limitations of time and place,
Connecting with something bigger.
a way of connecting with something larger than ourselves.
And he illustrates this through the narrator's experiences with art throughout the novel, right?
Absolutely.
Like a painting by Elser or a performance by Burma. Those evoke such profound emotional responses in the narrator, leading him to, well, new insights.
You put it perfectly. Art becomes a catalyst for self-discovery, a way of making sense of experience, a source of profound meaning and connection.
It makes you want to revisit your own favorite works of art, to see them with new eyes.
I wholeheartedly agree. Think about those books, paintings, music, or films that have deeply moved you. Ask yourself why they resonate with you. What truths do they reveal about the human condition? How have they shaped your understanding of the world?
Art can be a powerful force for personal growth and transformation.
Exactly. And it's something that Proust understood deeply.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, what final thought would you like to leave our listener with? What's the one thing you hope sticks with them?
Well, I think Proust himself provides the perfect ending. Remember those famous lines from the final volume?
Are you talking about the ones, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes?
Precisely. A beautiful encapsulation of the transformative power of Proust's work. He encourages us to see the world anew, to appreciate the beauty and wonder that we often miss in the everyday rush of life. He reminds us that the most important journey is not outward, but inward, a journey of self-discovery and awakening.
Beautifully put. And on that note, we bid you farewell, dear listener. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the captivating world of Marcel Proust.
We encourage you to embark on your own exploration of In Search of Lost Time. You won't be disappointed.
Until next time, keep those Proustian moments close to your heart. And never stop seeking new perspectives, new insights, new ways of seeing the world.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Bookercast. We hope you enjoyed diving into it as much as we did. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Your support means the world, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this episode with your fellow book lovers. And let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. See you in the next deep dive. Bye for now, and happy reading.